This is just a quick one. I want to talk a little bit about the infamous Luis Suarez biting incident. I'm not a football fan, but it's been very hard to escape this story, because just like the Zinedine Zidane incident back in 2006, this has sort of went viral because of its ridiculousness. So if you know who I'm talking about, it's this guy basically. In the middle there on the blue shirt, that's Luis Suarez. He's one of the most famous footballers in the world. He's a player for Uruguay. And basically he's been disqualified from the World Cup in Brazil because he bit an Italian player, Giorgio Chiellini. So FIFA has had to take action and has subsequently banned him for 9 international games and 4 months. Now, my response to this is that's rather pathetic. There's a few things that I want to point out here. It's kind of stating the obvious, but a man like Luis Suarez is supposedly a professional athlete. He's a professional footballer, so there's no excuses for his behaviour. And I've just watched a video where he's trying to make excuses. He says these things happen on the pitch, and there shouldn't be a story about it. So he's basically showing no remorse whatsoever for his actions. I mean, this is utterly ridiculous. You know, a lot of people have been sort of mocking the incident, people wearing Jaws masks and stuff. It is quite funny, but at the same time there's another side to this, which is that you know, footballers sometimes wonder why there's so much cynicism over them, but it's things like this. Because this is a guy who's paid millions to be a professional sportsman and who bites another player. I mean, this would be bad enough in any situation, but in the World Cup it's particularly disgraceful. It's good that he got banned, but I think the penalty is far too lenient. As far as I'm concerned, he should never be allowed to play again. I'm serious about that. Now, no doubt FIFA and football in general is only going to be focusing on his I don't know, he must be a very good player. Like I said, I don't follow football, but I really think that if FIFA is serious about this, they should give him a much, if not banned for life, at least a lot longer than that. I mean, that's nothing. If I if I lose my temper and go up and bite someone in a shopping centre, what do you think would happen to me? I'd be put in jail, and rightly so. I mean, it pisses me off the fact that this guy is an overpaid, over egotistical footballer who thinks he can get away with that. It's disgraceful, and apparently it's not the first time he's done it either. I mean, clearly this guy has some serious problems if he has to bite people every time he loses his temper. It's one thing like punching someone or assaulting someone, but actually biting someone. Clearly he has problems, and it's just astonishingly arrogant for him to make excuses for it. So I think FIFA's decision is a disgrace. I think it's far too lenient. On the grounds that as a professional sportsman there's no excuses for his behaviour whatsoever. Colombia has been sort of mocking the situation because they played Uruguay, so I believe they beat Uruguay. But I would be saying the same for any footballer from any country. There's no excuses for any professional sports person to behave in that sort of way. Well, there's no excuse for anyone to behave in that way. But when you're a professional sportsman, you're supposed to be setting an example. You know, millions of children around the world love football. They look up to footballers as role models, as icons. So it may sound like a cliche, but it is the case. And when guys like this pull off this sort of behaviour, then I think it's a disgrace. Now, I don't want to vilify all footballers. There are footballers I think are good role models. David Beckham, for example, he does a lot of humanitarian work. He goes out of his way to try and meet fans who would never in a million years often meet other footballers. I think he's a decent man. So it's not a case that I think all footballers are like this, but far too many footballers do behave like this and basically have the arrogant attitude they can get away with it. I would say the same for anyone involved in any sports, by the way. I said the same for boxers who behave in this way. I'm a boxing fan, so I say exactly the same. When Derek Chisora was behaving like this, I said exactly the same thing. Although to be fair, Chisora has moderated a bit. But anyway, just in conclusion, it's disgraceful. I don't think any professional sportsman should behave like this, and I think when they do, they should face much, much heavier consequences. Because anyone else, if that was some poor Uruguayan fan, he or she would be in jail. It's disgraceful. Like I said, I don't follow football, but I've got this free in the Times, I may as well show you. It's just sort of a poster of some of the best known players, so just sharing that for interest purposes. Okay.